You don't, if you're choosing not to close your eyes, that's absolutely fine. But this way, you won't be
Drawn
looking
by
at other
others.
people. Yeah, good idea. I'll try that.
Other reports, like other just kind of general reports, and then we'll talk about any difficulties or surprises or whatever.
So I actually took the week to focus on emotional practice for myself, which was actually very helpful because some stuff came up in the beginning of this week that was really hard to emotionally deal with. So I was glad that that was the focus I think that I'd chosen at the end of last week after talking with you, because I have found ways to respond that rather than react that have been actually very promising.
Awesome. Yeah, and it's kind of funny how when we commit that, okay, I'm going to do this now, usually the world will nicely give us some material to practice with.
Yep, it happened. It's good.
Yeah.
So I used the farmer's source, so thanks for sending it out. And then reviewed the refractory thing and then did the holes in the streets. And so since most of the students had done that before in January, so just revisit it because we all have multiple holes.
Right.
And then it was interesting just to see as they were reporting out, about a third of the class, the whole was procrastination, and the other third was anger. So just kind of to see what are the big stressors for kids.
And did they, and if they didn't, it's fine, but did you talk about where they can find the different street, or what would be a difference? I mean,
what I had them do is I had them so we could kind of do a quick survey about what were some of the typical holes, and then to share out what were some sample practices people thought they could do to kind of avoid that hole. So yeah. So there were some concrete suggestions for both of the anger and the procrastination piece.
Great. And what was the response to the farmer story? Just because
we didn't talk about it, but it was just kind of just more.
So you just read it.
Come in, so just
right.
just to kind of put things in context and really think. And then I shared personally about when I had not gotten the job at Milpitas High School, it was better because now I'm here, right? So so just kind of that we all have those things that
right.
feel painful at the time yet are good in the long run.
Great. And then how did it go? Or you're doing it on
I
Friday?
do Friday. I was trying to think about how it went last Friday. It went well, I remember, but
It's a long time ago.
yeah, we had a 3-day weekend too, so I'm like, well, I mean, we kind of did, but yeah, I know I've been sharing with them. I had Kim's class on Monday morning, and I definitely shared when we were talking about refractory emotions and whatnot. I was like, or feelings. I was like, I lost Drew at the park a couple weeks ago, and it was only 4 minutes long, but it's become this perfect story for them to listen to. The physical, sweating, breathing heavily, the thoughts Jenny's gonna kill me, I'm done. Somebody kidnapped him. Just
Right.
all this irrational stuff, and so kind of showing them that, leaning into that, and okay, well, how do you think I looked physically, and them telling, you probably looked whatever, and,
Right.
so that's been good because they've been able to share out, oh yeah, well, this is what happened to me, and a lot of it's I lost my cell phone for an hour, and whatever, but whatever, I'm like, okay, that must have been horrible, but it's been good. It was good conversation Monday, so looking forward to carrying that in to Friday. Found Drew, by the way, too, so that's good.
we figured you found Drew because otherwise you probably wouldn't be here.
No.
Yeah, I had one of those.
It's the worst feeling.
I had it when I was pregnant with my second. So I'm waddling around looking for my child. So what about difficulties or questions, or everybody feels like they're in a groove and it's going well? And
Yeah, I mean, I just think that, you're always, especially I think with freshman boys and bigger classes, you're always going to have those squirrely few that are just, I want to kick, but, and just constantly staying on top of them, but I find that each week more and more kids seem to be buying in.
Do you have them sit in?
I'm sit next to somebody of the opposite gender. Okay, everyone sit down. Okay, now you move here this wall. You move to this wall. You move to this wall. You move to that wall.
Will you be roll call lined
Yeah.
Jim's class where they just kind of, here's row 1, 2, 3, 4, and that works.
That's
And then Bob's class, boy, girl,
Yeah,
as much as we can.
yeah.
He just comes in, oh, I didn't
It's
play boy, girl.
the boy girl thing helps, I think,
Yeah,
a lot.
it does,
So,
just to get them away from their friends.
yeah.
I have a question just as I think about trying to implement this like over the course of a year. And so I know like the last 2 weeks, we haven't done a practice. We've just been more talking about different things and having them think about how it applies to their life. And is that, I guess, what would be the ideal, if you only have 5 minutes a week kind of thing, how often should you be doing the kind of practice?
I think, I mean, partly I think, right, you know your kids and your room and the feel of it. And, you know, if you, let's say you cover everything in the first 40 or 50 days of the year, then you can, you can pick and choose, and I mean, and maybe you're saying, if you're saying 5 minutes a week, then maybe you really don't cover everything till the end of the year. But, you know, you can just walk in and like the day when people start getting their acceptances and rejections back, you're like, uh-oh. You know, and then it's like, well, what's needed in this moment? Like, do I want to read that story, or do I want to just do feelings practice and just give them a little space for what's going on with them? You know, ideally, over a year, you would cover everything, and you'd probably, like if you'd started in September, right, you probably would get to here and you would have covered everything. And then you can pick and choose, that's why I did the paper clips, right? Like it's a little bit random, it's not in the book, it's not in this book, it's gonna be in that sports book, but, so you can, you know, you can do something different but related. You can bring back a practice that you haven't really done since September. And then, you know, this time of the year, even like based on the emails, right, that the teachers have sent, like the stakes are going up again. Acceptances and finals and big projects and SAT, you know, depending on what grade you're teaching, or AP tests, or, you know, those are things that probably call for something that's like clearer, you know, but watching your thoughts and watching your feelings about kind of anything is almost always useful. And I would say it'd be nice, like if you're looking at the sequence and you've kind of been through everything once, to bring back in some more kind of formal practice when you're ready.
Is it better to try and get through the content and the main concepts first, or is it better to kind of establish every other week to do a practice so they get that skill?
I think early you want to be doing practices, and then kind of once they have that, then you can kind of maybe go to alternating weeks. And does anybody have any sense of, I mean, and I think this, I don't know, I mean, I did say to you all, right, that even if your kids don't have the book, that they can use the download code, right? So does anybody have any sense of if kids are downloading it and using it at other times, or they're just doing it in class?
I'd say just doing it in class.
Mm-hmm.
Would you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think, and I've given it, in the beginning, for the first 2 or 3 times, I would show it to them in their book again and have them, but I don't think they're doing it.
I think the one huge drawback too with PE, the only drawback with PE, is the fact that we don't give homework, so
Right.
their
They're not
mindset,
used
like
to
getting
it.
them into that, you know.
I know.
And I would probably, at least in PE, like for the teachers who give homework, right, you can put the link on wherever you post your homework. Or whatever.
Right.
But for the PE teachers, I would almost offer like, kind of like a gift, or this is something for you to have for when you need it. But it would be, I mean, they have the books, but it'd be really nice to have, and I don't know, like I know Margaret made a resource page for the teachers, and I would put money on that Nadia Gafani, or however you say her name, would make a resource page for the kids. Mm-hmm. But it might be nice to have that with some simple some simple things that are easy to access. I mean, I don't know that they'd be any more likely to access it than to look up the thing in the book, but, you know, ninth graders, who knows,
Yeah,
but.
you never know.
I think some of my kids last semester, like when we were first was doing this kind of more on a daily basis, had mentioned that they use apps like
Right.
Headspace, or like the Insight Timer.
The only bummer about Headspace is that it's a paid app, so I don't